So if we also now look at the direction, so it can be divided into two ways on that continuum, with internal and external. External means you're focusing on everything outside of your body, so the environment you're focusing on, the other person, all those things that are going on around and outside you. Internal or intrinsic means I'm focusing on within myself, on my thoughts, emotions, feelings, and all those things, which is huge in this industry. So it's bigger, in my opinion, in the self-defense world than it is in the combat sports world for a couple of reasons. So in the self-defense world, fear is a huge factor. A sports fighter knows what he's getting himself into, and I'm not thinking he's not going to be scared, but nowhere near the extent of the office worker who is approaching the car park. Fear is a huge factor, and you can talk about the adrenaline dump and all those other things. People are quite often in denial that these things are happening to them. The last time I got into a little bit of an altercation, I was thinking to myself, is this guy really going to do this here? And all this internal dialogue sort of happened, at the time. So again, more prevalent here. And just that unpreparedness basically leads to that deer in headlights sort of phenomenon, where they're not prepared for it and basically they do nothing. The other area where it's really different is in a sporting context, where you throw your combinations and then you move. Whilst you're moving, in sports, you are thinking about your next move, your strategy, what to do next, and all those various other things. In a self-defense context, you're not thinking about that, because if we look at self-defense, definition of it, it's when you're devoured of choice, when someone decides that you're in this event and they attack you. So if they attack you, you don't have those lulls in play to think about. If you do have a lull in play, that's when you should start thinking about fleeing, escaping, and doing various other things to remove yourself from it. Whereas boxing, dancing, moving around, posturing, whatever you want to call it, is time to think, is time to strategize. Self-defense don't generally have that as much. While all that internal dialogue, whatever you want to call it, is going on inside your head, your reaction time is slowed, your decision making is slowed. All of those things happen. So if that guy in front of you decides to throw a punch while you're lost in your thoughts, it's going to land. There's more chance of it landing. You're not going to pick up on that, as opposed to that, while all that stuff's going through your head. So for that reason, again, telegraphing in a street context or a self-defense context does not matter as much as it does in a sport fighting context. You can be distracted also whilst thinking about responding to what that person said. So when you're in that pre-fight state and they're speaking to you, asking you questions, and you're thinking about answering, if they went to throw that punch in that given moment, they're more likely to land if your reaction time is slow. So in my opinion, it's a topic that needs a lot more attention.